Alrighty, so in this video, we're going to look at, what was it? A middle distance mock race for, no, long distance, sorry, for my preparation for West Point, which are the Canadian selection races. So we drove down to Cranbrook, which was, like 4 or 5 hours away from Calgary, and because I wanted to get into this rocky terrain. So it's great to get into as relevant terrain before a race as you can. So I think similarities are controls such as these ones, where you're running down to singular rocks on a side hill. So this is quite relevant. The very cliffy technical stuff is, I think this is almost overly detailed. West Point will probably not get more detailed than this. But it was great getting out into that terrain so that I'd be ready for anything that I guess they throw at me, or they will, because it hasn't happened yet. So we're just gonna watch the rerun, and I'm going to make some comments on what I did good, what I did bad, and what I'd do differently next time. So, to the first control. Oh yeah, one other thing. I didn't have, so as you can see on this map, somebody who made it didn't put north lines, and then I got my hands on this map file without north lines. Now I think north was just straight up. So I was kind of approximating that sometimes, and I think it worked pretty well in most cases, but without north lines I wasn't really taking good bearings. So it's a little bit. So I've got good lines sometimes, but it's not quite because of a bearing. Okay, so to number one, I kind of just ran down the hill straight, and then I was looking for this big marsh to my left, and I didn't want to run into it, so I stayed right of that. And then I kind of just kept going straight in the direction that the hill or the spur had pointed me off in. And I came over this hill. I didn't really notice many of these cliffs here. And then over here, I started doubting myself a bit, and I think I saw my brother. Um, but basically, this is the rock, or yeah, that's the rock. And then I saw it to the right because I could see the top of this hill. So I kind of so after, because I wasn't sure if this hilltop was this one of the spur, or if it was actually the hilltop. But once I realized it was the hilltop, then I was able to just kind of get back in. But my brother, he was over here, so that's why my line was a little bit off. So next control, I just tried taking it pretty straight. There was a bunch of pits here, so hitting those really put me exactly where I was. I guess I could have followed this indistinct trail, but I didn't notice it. So I ended up hitting this trail and just coming around here. I didn't lose basically any time on that. I'd say it was pretty good. This one was just going straight uphill up the reentrant. There was a lot more rocks in here. I guess oh yeah, I'm noticing these ones here now. It was a little bit unclearly mapped. So, but anyways, I hit the rocks and I would have seen the control pretty easily. And then this one, now I wanted to take this one straight. So it looks like my line was pretty good on the side hill here, but it was a little bit slower. I think it would have been faster if I came lower down. And then basically, I didn't really notice exactly which hill this was between like the little spurs and stuff. And then I came down and I thought it was here, but I definitely did come down here. I thought I read I thought I read this kind of spur and reentrant somewhere here, but I really didn't see it. So, but I think I was a little bit more on the line because that line doesn't go straight to the control. And then to 5, basically, I just wanted to go straight. There's a little trail here, and I kind of came up on this hill and then turned right and headed to this marsh in the open area. And then I came around that, and then I was looking for this hill here. And then I was getting a little bit confused between this small hill and this spur. But once I realized that this hill, because this hill seemed really big. Once I realized it was this, then I just kind of came left because I knew I was exactly between those two hills. To number 6, I hit the trail, and now this was a little bit weird. I think this seemed like a big hill here. And so when I came by it or something, I was pretty confused because I wasn't sure if that was this hill. I guess it looks like it's a little ways away. Anyways, and then I climbed up here, and then this hill, it seems way more elongated. So I think that was a slight issue because I was really unsure if I had hit this hill already. I guess like the distance estimation, I should be able to realize that. But it was kind of vague and I wasn't sure. But then I continued and I hit this and I assumed that was it. And then when I came out, everything seemed good. I hit the trail here, and then I came up the reentrant into this depression. And then for the second part, I just wanted to take this as straight as possible. So I kind of came down here, and then I climbed over the two little spurs here, and then I continued down here. I didn't notice this null thing, but I did notice this big reentrant, and I hit the top of this hill, and then I ran it all the way up. Then here I stopped for a second to read the contours a bit better, and I saw that this was all one hilltop. So I came to this long kind of hill, and then I came into the control. So it was pretty chill. It was pretty chill going in. Not too much to say. Yeah. So again, I really wish I had a compass, or at least the north lines, because I had my compass, but the north lines to make a lot of these decisions, because here I was just running straight, just off of orientation and navigation off of the features I knew. So like I knew where this like reentrant was, and I could see this hill. So as long as I stayed to the right of it, it brought me in pretty good to the control. But the compass is just helps there. So this control was really good. So this section and this section were almost on two completely different levels. So that's why I turned right here and I ran up here so that I could ignore all of this, and then I could just focus on here. And I think I actually ran all the way up here. The GPS is just not completely on it, but this area is really good because it doesn't look like it, but it's kind of got like 1, 2, 3 different like levels or so. It's really nice. Going to number 10. So I think this was one of my biggest and only few mistakes. I didn't make a lot of mistakes, but I was coming down good, and I probably would have nailed it with a compass, but I kind of veered off a little bit here by about 20 or 30 degrees. And then here I hit the trail, and then I realized where I was, so I had to come right back here. So definitely going straight would have saved, I'd say, this distance here. So I lost about 20 seconds or something there. Now this one, I followed the trail down, and then I kind of popped over here. Between this, I was looking at these cliffs. They were super obvious, and then I came through this little reentrant here, and then I just headed off kind of in the direction of the control, and I got it pretty simply. So I'm just going to pause it here. So this is now the big good leg. I don't know how the quality of this is going to turn out, but basically here we've got 3 big hills, and then our next control is over here. So I made this leg, and I didn't know what the fastest route was, which was good, I guess. And then I still don't know because I didn't get to test it out because nobody else ran the course. So I was really debating as I was kind of leaving 11. I think I stopped for a few seconds. Is it worth it running this trail down? This trail's almost flat the whole way, all the way here. And then you can take this trail all the way up here and have a super easy attack into the control. Or should you go more straight, like this, sticking to the line, and then from here take this trail, and then come out here around this side of the hill? So that was the big debate I was having. And I think even running maybe like this could have, I would say it's not valid because there's this hill here. So it's too much S-ing, and it's just better to go straight here. But yeah, so I really didn't know which one was faster, and I decided to go with the more straight one, hoping that I don't know, less distance would make it faster. And I think it really depends on the runner, because if you're a super fast runner and you go sub 4 on this trail, it will probably pan out to be faster. Because if we look on the right route choice, then the problem here is going up this hill, you're pretty slow. And then you're fast along here. And then here you're running in the forest. So you're not going to be quite as fast as on the trail. The forest is pretty good, so that's also why I opted for the route. But honestly, I feel like left would have been faster. But also, if we count the climb, to use that as a determining factor, the problem here is when you come here, there's this big hole, so you can kind of run all the way around it, or just run through it. It's probably about the same, but if you run through it, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 meters of climb. Then you have to cross 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 contours. And then you run down here. And then you hit this, 10, and then it's 11. Well, that one doesn't really count. 11, 12, 13. 13 contours. And then you come down here. And then I'd say basically maybe 14 and 15. And because the way I ran it, I basically contoured all the way here and then came out this reentrant and then came in like that. So it's about 14, 15, and then here you run, this is just running down, basically. This isn't a contour. So it's only 14 contours like that. That's also, yeah. So because it wasn't too much climb on the left, if we counted on the, or on the right, if we counted on the left side, and here we can see it goes, well, I gotta start from here. So here, you're about at the same place. So you cross, so now, I don't know, let's say you run around this to avoid the climb. I don't really care. You might, if you're sticking to the trail, then it would be, you know, you could count those 2 extra contours there, but otherwise it would be 1, 2, I mean, I guess if you're sticking to this trail here, you could say 1, but I think you'd stay on this trail, so we'll say 1, 2, 3. That's all flat all the way here, 3, and then let's say 4, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, that's this one, 12, 13, 14, 15, and that's it. So 15 plus or minus a few depending. I mean, if you technically come on this trail, I don't know how fast this one is, and it's indistinct, you could cut off a little bit of climb here, but this is a really good trail. So it's about 15, so basically the climb is exactly the same on each one. And I didn't know that when I made the leg. But it is pretty neat. And yeah, anyways, so I went right. It was definitely harder, so, you know, you should get used to the harder route choice or whatever. And I feel like the distance was shorter. I didn't measure out the distances. I don't know how to do that here. But yeah, I don't know. You could comment below or something for which side you think was faster, because I do not know. I executed it perfectly from the right. I don't know if doing like a 350 pace all the way here. Maybe I'll do some math after to try figuring it out. But I'm just going to play this and speed her up a little bit because, yeah. So here I came out. I climbed a little bit, and then, anyways, I wasn't sure too much about this stuff here, but I think I saw this, and I came by it. And then I could see this hill, so I was kind of running to it, and then I veered to the right because I had to get here. But anyways, then I came around here. I started taking all of this climb, and then this was the worst part of the leg, but I thought if I can just run up it, then the rest is basically flat. And So then I came down here. I knew exactly where I was. Then I hit the trail. And now on the trail, I really sped up. Kind of. It doesn't look like it. And I just ran the trail all the way down to the junction. And at the junction, I turned left. And now here, I wanted to actually take this trail here and then run it down like this to kind of, again, save on more distance. But I missed the trail somehow. Oh no, I think I saw it, yeah. But there was another one here, and I thought that was it. And so I took that, and then I ended up basically contouring like this, which wasn't too bad. Except that I basically had no idea where I was. I knew I crossed this somewhere, and I thought I was higher up. But then I saw this, and I just came through here. But I think that was also almost even better because I didn't take the extra climb, and I didn't take a lot of too much extra distance. So I basically just contoured, came in, and then I hit it. So it's pretty well done. I don't know. So now this leg, so it's a right or left leg around this giant hill, and I opted for right. The problem with the left side is it's so steep here, and say you want to get on like almost not like less steep grade, you have to go under this index contour and up here, and that's basically all the way down here. And so then from here you have to climb whatever 2 or 3 contours back up to the rock. And coming around the right side, I could contour in at the same elevation after just taking 2 or 3 contours of climb here. So, I don't know, I think left is a bit shorter, but they're both okay. I don't know which one would be faster. Maybe left would have been faster. The problem is here, like if you do cross 1, 2, 3, all 3 of these contours, then you have to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 contours coming back up. Whilst here I only took, what, 1, 2, 3 contours climbing up, and then I contoured in. And it was a little bit longer, so I don't know. I actually saw 3 bears over there at 12. Oops. Anyways, and then to number 4, I continued straight here. I kind of side hilled like this. There's a lot of rocks here and stuff, and I wanted to maintain as much elevation as I could. Then I ran up this hill, kind of. I ran up half of it. It was a big hill. It was, this is what Denmark is going to be like. It makes me tired just thinking about it. So then I came through here, and basically I could see this hill and this reentrant, and then I kind of found a knoll with a cliff on it, so I went for that, and I kind of just assumed that was it. Once again, if I had controls, that would have been better, but I didn't. Here, I kind of came down, and then I was looking for this hill, and I came just around it and from the right, and then came right into the control. It was pretty chill. There wasn't too much. It was a fairly, you could simplify the route quite a bit. And to number 16, I think optimally it would have been best if I just popped over the hill to save on distance, but I just knew I could come out really fast here and then come down, and then that would be good. Here I got confused, a little bit confused with the hills, and I didn't know this was my hill, so that's why I came out more to the right, and then I came in to the left. So I lost a little bit of time there. And then I think here I wasn't quite sure which rock it was on, but I ran by it definitely. And then to 17, I just ran straight. I think I could see this hill, so I kind of headed to the right of that, ran up the reentrant, and then I kind of came to the right side of this knoll and right into the rocks. And once again, this stuff would be so much easier with the, compass, but having the stuff like this reentrant here could really keep me on my line, and that was good, I guess. So this one, honestly, I'm not quite sure where it was. I ran up here, and I think I saw this knoll, and I ran to the knoll behind it, and I would have seen the control. Yeah. So now this leg was a little bit horrible. This hill's big. It doesn't look that big, but it's really big. I came out here. I think I came out on the trail more, or I came down this re-entrant. I don't know. Don't know which one I hit actually. Trail would have been really fast. I think I might have done that. But then, I don't know, then another option would have been to come straight down here. But I don't know, here the grade was less steep, so I could run pretty fast, and here you'd have to go a little bit slower. So it's shorter, but whatever. So I think I did this one well. I ran here, I could see this rock or knoll or whatever it was, and then I think there was one more knoll somewhere here. I ran by that, and then I kind of... Yeah, I ran by some little hill here. I thought it was this one, but I guess it wasn't. It must have been something here. But then basically I just came up and I kind of just came around the top. I wasn't quite sure exactly what the feature or whatever it was. I didn't have control descriptions either, but I did run like right through it, so I would have seen the control. So here I ran down. I decided to come from the right side of this cliff. And then that kind of put me exactly like I knew where I was. And then I ran straight up, trying not to take too much climb. There's a trench here that was kind of new, but whatever. And then I guess I came over this hilltop. I don't know if I registered the knolls too well. I did register this spur and more this re-entrant and this one. And I kind of slowed down and came in. And then coming into the control, I could see this knoll, and so I aimed to the right to find the rock. So it was pretty good. I'm running really fast. And then to the next control, I just kind of dropped down a little bit because it's 2 contours lower. And as long as I didn't hit the cliffs, I was okay. I think I could see the edges of them, and so then I was able to kind of come right into this big, giant rock block thing. And that was good. Coming into this control, I just contoured and came in through the cliffs, and I thought if I just stay on the same elevation, I'll basically hit it, and I was a little bit low here, and as I came over, I just hit the rock. So that was good. I think these controls here, it's going to be pretty typical of West Point. So this kind of stuff is going to be really good. And I think holding a good compass is going to be really mandatory. And then finding features on the slope to hit is going to be like basically these rocks on the way coming to this one are super important because you can't really read the contours. There's not enough features to get anything else out of it. And so you'll really have to be careful and maybe meticulous about reading the rocks as you're going by them. If there's nothing else to read, like if you only have 2 or 3 rocks on the way, you might want to at least see them 5 or 10 meters away on your right or left of your bearing so that you can hit them. This part was horrible. This was probably the worst hill because it was like, I'd done like 550 meters of climb at that point, and the legs weren't working so well anymore. So anyways, I came up. Once again, no compass, and there's like nothing to read here. So it was a little bit sketchy, but I did land, I think, here. And after stopping a little and trying to match stuff up, I realized that this wasn't this hill, and then I continued in and I hit this hill, and I would have hit this control. So it was pretty chill. So this one, I came in straight, and then basically I came in between these 2 hills, and I came over this hill here, and then I kind of came in straight. So I don't know, everything was just oriented, and I was just running in the right direction. It's like, and then that's just the finish. So, but basically, like, the way, well, one thing why I think I had really good lines on this course is because, for example, if you have this hill here, like this section's really complicated, right? And if I can see this hill and these cliffs, and I have my map oriented perfectly along it, and then I see which direction the line's going in, and I just run in that direction, it's effectively the same thing as a compass. And that's why I think I was able to get such good lines in many cases on this course, because the compass basically, you just point it and you orient your map, right? So you orient the north with the north lines, and then your map is oriented. And if you put that parallel with your route, then it just points in the direction that you want to go in. And so even just if you don't have the compass, as long as your map is oriented, then this line shows you the direction you want to go. Yeah. If we just, I'm going to turn on one thing maybe. I don't know where it is. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, so it's a really nice course, super nice map. I think it's a little bit bigger. I don't know. I forget if this part is mapped. I don't know if it goes on a little bit more here, but it is a great map. I think it's perfect for long distance. And it really set me up. It's nice because it's not overly detailed, but it is very nice orienteering. It's very fast. Um, and I really enjoyed it, I guess. It was a really good long distance course. It's 600 meters of climb. It felt good, but yeah, but like going to 19, I was like, oof. Yeah, and that's what we're gonna do at Jaywalk. So I feel like distance wise, this is about the same. These rocks here is a lot more detailed than Jaywalk is gonna be this year. So I'll only be going faster there. So I guess the other thing, so I think Jaywalk is 10.5K straight line and then 600 meters of climb. And this one was 11.6K straight line and 600 meters of climb. So the climb is going to be the same, but basically I'm going to guess it's going to be about a kilometer less. So I could theoretically take 5 minutes off my time or so. Then, and then the technical difficulty is going to be a lot less. So here I really got slowed down in all of these controls. But here I think it's about the speed that we're going to be going at Jaywalk, terrain-wise. So I don't know. So I had an hour and 30 minutes on this course, and then I guess it could come down to an hour 25. I think the winning times are like an hour 15, so we'll see how it goes. Alright, see you in the next video. This one was a little bit long, but it was a really nice course, and I liked it a lot.